The following opinions are solely those of BoatTest.com and its test captain.
Bay boats are becoming increasingly popular for their ability to get into skinny water. Robalo makes a version that also handles offshore conditions. This is the 246 Cayman. Let's take a look. For BoatTest.com, I'm Captain Steve. Here we have the casting deck with seating just behind, and these cushions add a family flair to this boat. We can also get optional backrests that will go in this position. The table serves a dual purpose. First, it turns the bow into a small dining area. Secondly, the bow table also forms an integral component of the bow sun pad. At the front of the console, we have the usual forward-facing seat. The interior of the console is accessed from the front, which gives you more room. Step down into the head with the optional porta potty. All of the bulkheads are protected, and the entire compartment is lockable. Adding to the family features, a flip-up rumble seat with a seat back 20 inches high, 43 inches across. This provides a great place to ride out to the fishing grounds, and it's also protected from the wind from the console. Traditionally, bay boats have two casting decks, one forward, one aft, and the forward deck serves also as the seating. Here, we have the casting deck with seating just behind. Remove the cushions, and now we have two casting decks. Looking at the storage compartments, fully forward, we have an anchor locker with anchor keepers, and this compartment comes pre-wired for a trolling motor. Just behind, 30-gallon live well, rounded corners, tinted blue. This one's also insulated so it can double as a fish box. The bolsters top out at 19 inches at the stern and 22 inches at the bow. Naturally, there's storage underneath for rods. Unique feature, these are tubes that run forward to protect the rods from hooking on wiring. The aft casting deck gives you 8 feet 7 inches of usable space across the beam. It also includes this center insert that's easily removable when it's time to bring the engine up. Of course, it has dedicated storage. There are 2 rod holders to the stern, plus 2 drink holders that also double as rod holders. Notice all the hardware is flush mounted, removing any concern for tripping hazards. To both sides of the casting deck, we have aerated live wells, 30 gallons each. That makes a total of 90 on board. These are also rounded, tinted blue to reduce the shock effect on the live bait, plus these are also insulated so they can be used as fish lockers. Love the lift and lock latches. Under this hatch, boater's best friend, the 5-gallon bucket. This is a great feature for the cast netters. Also notice that the hatch opens towards the inside, so it's easily accessible when the boat's still on the trailer. Here we have 2 storage lockers to either side for rods. Both will hold 6 rods each. These lockable hatches are held open by gas assist struts, and notice that they're hinged from the front so that they're easily accessible from the side. Good feature when you're on the trailer. Full beam storage goes all the way across. In the center, we've got storage for the 2 pedestals for the table, and just underneath, if you have a trolling motor, that's where the batteries will go. Digital gauges come standard. This one has the optional command link gauge, plus an optional Garmin GPS moving map. Stainless steel switches to the side are a unique feature. All have circuit breakers right next to them. Stereo remote with an MP3 jack just below. Stainless steel drink holders. We have the upgraded wheel with the steering knob mounted to a tilt base. This hardtop also includes a standard electronics box held open with tension hinges. 2 cubbies to either side of the compass. Both have drains in the corners. The one to port has a socket for plugging in your cell phone or your spotlight. The curved windshield offers no distortion at the sides, and it's mounted into an aluminum frame mounted to the top of the console. When the windshield's mounted to the side of the console, you get dirt collecting in the sides, plus the screw heads will create a place to crack. No sense going from a canvas T-top to a hardtop. Robalo goes directly to the hardtop with its option. This one, gel-coated underneath, 2 LED lights in the back, 1 in the front. The rails have the optional powder coating, and they're elongated to grab easier, and down below, they integrate directly into the console. The leaning post has 36-ounce vinyl with a 10-ounce top coat for protection. Also comes with a standard backrest, integrated grab handle across the back of the leaning post, and below, a 54-quart cooler held in place by brackets and bungees to the sides. Engine choices are a 200, 250 horsepower, or this 300 horsepower engine. Notice the raw water washdown inside the engine well.
With full fuel and 2 people on board, we had an estimated test weight of 4,370 pounds. We tested with the max horsepower on board, in this case, the Yamaha 300 XCA 4-stroke, turning a 19 by 15 1/4 saltwater Series 2 prop. The speed topped out at 50.1 miles per hour, which produced a 26.4 gallon per hour fuel burn. Best economy was found at 3,000 RPM at 24.7 miles per hour. That speed reduced the fuel burn to 7 gallons per hour, giving us a range of 240 miles and an endurance of 9 hours and 42 minutes, while still holding back a 10% reserve of fuel.
16-degree dead rise at the transom provides a good balance between shallow draft and offshore performance. We also have the extended V-plane that our tests show provide not only quicker times to plane, but better stability. Notice how as I walk back and forth, the boat stays on a level plane.
Sadly, as can be seen here, we didn't get to test the sea handling conditions of the 246, but we have no reason to doubt that she's as impressive as her smaller sister, the 206, which we did test in rough conditions.
The bow has a narrow entry and a wide flare. That, coupled with a 30-inch height to the rub rail, gives us a nice dry ride.
She leans 10 degrees into the turns, and if I worked her hard enough, I could get her to chine walk, but normal operations showed her carving smoothly through the turn with no hint of falling off. The Seastar hydraulic steering was a little tight, which doesn't lend itself to cranking the wheel a lot, and ergonomics were excellent as she was comfortable to operate while either standing or sitting. So clearly a lot of thought went into the features and performance of the 246 Cayman, but she also excels at the little details, and at the end of the day, those are what make the difference. For BoatTest.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.
New for 2018 is the Skydeck model that includes this new tower and a reinforced deck. Where most other manufacturers would be letting you stand on the console, here we have an elevated platform that goes from what would be 3 feet 6 inches up to 6 feet 7 inches, and it's feature packed. Let's take a look. There are ladders to both sides leading up to gates to both sides, and notice there are tension hinges so it doesn't slam down on you. It needs to be pulled down into position and locks automatically. Look at this, we have a double wide helm seat, lift it up, and it becomes a flip-up bolster. A lift and lock latch leads us to storage, and notice the door is held open by tension hinges. At the panel, the features include a Garmin 7-inch display, the digital engine controller over to the right-hand side, horn, station selector, engine start-stop, a stainless steel steering wheel with a steering knob. This one's mounted to a fixed base, but the next models will all come with a tilt base standard. 2 beverage holders are fully forward. Now behind us, there's a nav light, 4 rocket launcher style rod holders. There are 4 rod holders to the back of the hardtop, and notice that the deck is reinforced to accommodate outriggers.